Well guys, this is pretty incredible, but not really surprising. You might remember I covered the Prince of Soy interfering in the US election with his dopey trout misses, but now we have something far worse. Just imagine for a moment a former UK Deputy Prime Minister helping to censor the New York Post story revealing details of possible corruption on the part of Joe Biden, thanks to emails on his son Hunter's laptop. Most will know Twitter and Facebook went on a scorched earth policy yesterday, taking down the White House press secretary's account, GOP accounts and countless others for posting this story or memes about it. This was full on left-wing damage control because if true, which it appears to be, is extremely damaging to what little credibility Biden had left. Now that damage control was on show during the town hall last night, with the host completely ignoring this story, giving Joe yet another softball interview, but I am sure plenty of American YouTube channels will cover that, so we will focus on some UK parties' involvements in this censorship and, in my opinion, election interference, because we have reports today that Nick Clegg was possibly involved in censoring this story and therefore interfering in the election, which if he has, then fuck me, it is bad. The guy is despised here and has no right interfering in our election, let alone the American one. But like I said, the Mail picked up on this and its article headlines. Nick Clegg was involved in Facebook's decision to hush up a story about Joe Biden's son that led to social media giant being branded the Democrats' PR team by Republicans. It's not just by Republicans, I think you'll find it's by most people around the world that actually know it happened. Now I won't read through all of it, I will just go over the important bits, like here where it states. Former British Deputy Prime Minister Sir Nick Clegg was involved in Facebook's decision to reduce the distribution of a New York Post Joe Biden story, reports suggest. The social media firm was accused of acting as Joe Biden's PR team by top Republicans for hushing up the story just days before the US election on November 3rd. Sir Nick Clegg, who left the government in 2015, is now the Vice President of Global Affairs and Communications at the social media giant, which you will see becomes important in just a moment. Facebook announced on Wednesday that it had started reducing distribution of the New York Post story until their army of third-party fact-checkers had vetted it. What they really mean is their army of leftist activists that always ban conservative accounts on the platform. It's been well covered by Project Veritas before now, so we know what they're up to at this point. But it goes on. Most of Facebook's decisions are made by automatic software or by moderation staff, the Daily Telegraph reports. But for sensitive moderation issues that hold cultural or political significance, Facebook's Vice President of Content Policy, Vice President of Global Public Policy, and then Sir Nick look into the case as it passes up the chain. Now I would suggest from that Nick Clegg could well have had a look at this and help come to the decision to run damage control for the Biden campaign. I would also say it's beyond doubt at this point that Section 230 protection has to go, and these platforms need to choose between platform or publisher. They cannot continue to have it both ways to the detriment of everyone else. But I will say the fact that this odious little toad has a say on something so pivotal is worrying and should be for everyone. They claim the Russians used Facebook to interfere with the election when it was actually, it seems, Facebook doing it. And it would seem now in 2020 they are doing it to be the PR wing of the Biden campaign. It is really disgusting, and I hope the lawmakers in America remove their protections that let them ban us for nothing and allow them to pull stunts like this.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.